Okay, so let's do the next one. Let me just get the timer going. Hold on. There we go. All right, let me move this up. Okay, good. So here we go. Now it's easier to see. Okay, so these two people, hope I'm saying this right, Castell and Joe, they're planning trips to 3 countries this year. There are 7 countries they want to visit. One trip will be a week long, another will be 2 days, the other will be 2 weeks. Okay. Well, notice here we can't have repetition, right? They're not going to visit a certain country more than once. So no repetition. I mean, hopefully it's easy for everyone to see. I hope everyone understands that they're not going to visit a country more than once. Okay? Now, does order matter though? Well, the answer here is yes. Now, why is that? Well, because look at the trip lengths. Right? One country they visit will be a week long, okay? Another one will be 2 days long, right? So they're not going to visit the 3 countries for the same amount of time. I mean, I'm not sure which one they'll choose first, but the first trip might be, okay, so the first country will be a week long. The next country we pick will be 2 days long, right? So the order they pick will make a difference. I mean, I hope that makes sense.
So the only reason that order matters is because of the time that they will spend at each location?
Exactly. Because one country, the first country they visit, I'm not sure which of these it'll be, but let's just say it was 1 week long, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next country they decide to visit, they're either going to say 2 weeks or 2 days, right? So the next country they visit, the next one they choose, right? How do I say this? But does it make sense what I'm trying to say?
It's kind of, but it's very odd. Like
it is. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with how do I say this? It's kind of like with you have people running a race. The first one that wins gets a certain prize. The next person that wins gets a different prize, right? It's kind of like that idea.
Well, for that, I get that because the order of the person matters.
But so the order they decide, like let's say the first trip was 1 week long, okay? So country A would be the one they decide to go for 1 week. Mm-hmm. Then whatever is going to be country B, the next one, that's going to be 2 days, right? Uh-huh. And then the one after that will be 2 weeks long. So that's going to be whatever country C is, okay? But if they do country C first instead, they're only going to be a week long. And the next one, let's say if it was country A, that's only going to be 2 days. So the order does make a difference. I don't know if that helps what I just said.
Okay, yeah.
It does? Good. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I couldn't think of any country names off the top of my head, to be honest. That's why I said country A and B. So, okay. All right, so what's a good one? Okay, so the order matters, no repetition. So we have a permutation. So we have, and in this case, the N we have is 7, right? Because there are 7 countries they want to visit, but they're only planning 3. So R would be 3. So we have P of 7, 3. Now, if you did use the factorials, it would be 7 factorial over 7 minus 3 factorial. And if you do that, you get, what's P of 7, 3? Let's take a look. Looks like it's going to be 210. So, okay. All right. Okay, I hope that made sense for everyone. Okay. All right, so let's get to the next one. Here we have 110 people at a meeting, and they each shake hands with everyone else. Okay, wait, no, let me, darn it. There we go, there we go. Okay, so how many handshakes were there? Okay, so here you really can't shake hands with the same person, right? More than once. That's what they're saying. So because of that, there's no repetition, right? Okay, now does the order matter though? Well, it doesn't, no, because again, all they care about is how many handshakes you make, how many different handshakes you have there are. You know, it doesn't matter who shakes hands with who first. So the order does not matter. See? I mean, if that doesn't make sense, you could think of it. So order does not matter. You know, all we care about is handshakes. It doesn't matter what order you shake hands with someone. I mean, if you want, you could also think of it this way. To shake hands with someone, you have to be paired up with someone else, right? So how many ways can you be paired up with another person? Well, you can't be paired up with the same person more than once, right? You know, because we're looking for handshakes here, different handshakes. And the order in which you get paired up with someone, that doesn't matter. All we care about is handshakes. So that's why. That's another way of looking at it. I hope that made sense. But here we have combinations. So in this case, we have 110 people. So N is 110, right? And for a handshake, you have to be paired up with someone. So your R would be 2, right? You know, a pair, 2 people. You need 2 people to have a handshake. So in this case, we would have C of 110, comma 2. And that turns out to be 5,000. Well, let me write it this way. It's 110 factorial divided by 110 minus 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial. Wait, can I see that? Oh, no, you can't. Let me move this up. There we go. And that turns out to be 5,995. Let me just double check. I think that's right. Yep, that's right. Are there any questions on that one? Because I know that one was a little tricky. This handshake one. I mean, I hope it made sense. You know, again, it's almost like you could think of it this way. How many ways can you be paired up with another person? How many different ways that is? You know, all we care about is handshakes. So you can't be paired up with the same person more than once. You shook hands with them already. And it doesn't matter what order you get paired up with someone else. All we care about is how many handshakes there were. You know, all handshakes are equal, so to say. So that's why it's a combination. Okay, I think there's one more. Let me see if I can get to it quickly. I don't want to rush though. Here it is. Oh. I'll just say it quickly. Here you have the 25 people. Since the prize is the same, they all advance to the finals. The order doesn't matter. And of course, there's no repetition. So in this case, it's going to be a combination. And in this case, they're going to have C of 25, comma 8. And that turns out to be, quickly, let me just say it. Yeah, that turns out to be 1,081,575. And again, that's because they all are advancing to the finals. That's the prize. You know, it's not like the first person that finishes gets a medal or something. So the order doesn't matter, okay? And it should be obvious with repetition. Someone can't place in more than one spot. So, okay, we're out of time, so let me stop the recording. Okay.